In a shocking update, 50 Cent is reportedly preparing to list every celebrity connected to Sean Diddy Combs in the upcoming legal case. He allegedly holds a stack of documents that may soon be turned over to prosecutors. Diddy is facing serious charges in New York, including sex trafficking and racketeering. These filings could drastically alter public perception of his famed parties and business ventures. The list of names reportedly spans the worlds of music, film, sports, and fashion, household names who once flocked to his iconic white parties. Will they be questioned under oath? 50 Cent insists it's time to bring every detail into the light. He first raised concerns on social media, now he's putting them on paper. Soon we may see which celebrities appear in the evidence and what they knew.
We do a lot of foul shit, like behind the scenes he would do some foul shit, like hating on, like doing things with people I'd done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you?
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them and shit.
Yeah, leftovers.
Yeah.
You take your leftovers. A lot of time on leftovers.
The new baby oil.
Should start looking gray if you ain't got nothing on it.
It's got the new baby oil, bro.
This ain't baby oil.
Nigga, you ran through 8,000 jars of them in prison.
Man.
You know what I mean? He was Ashy Larry.
Relax.
I mean,
I still got everybody looking.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's why I don't be going to the puffy parties. You can hug me from the front and the back at the same time. What you talking about?
And I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Dub C ain't never been to a Diddy party, motherfucker.
I'm like an R-A-P-E-R, got so many essays.
What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what is it?
The last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sodomized me. Like he sodomized me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money. Did you see the video? I could find other things to do for money. Bro, I'm not sure I can say that for money. Like somebody pushed me
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like it's a simple suit situation, but it's like
20 mil, I can say it.
You still have to black his face out.
Yes.
You still have to mimic his voice because he's like,
but his
damn.
voice wasn't even that different.
And a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
I almost felt like it was him. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, that's Buck. You trying to get money right.
Yo, you can't say that dudes are having sex with other dudes, bro. That might come for you.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the, but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
50 Cent is no stranger to calling out Diddy. He's done it on social media and even on stage. Now he's standing by his comments. It may seem like I'm doing something outrageous, but I'm not, he explains. I've just been saying the same thing for 10 years. He continues, it's just my perspective. I stayed away from that whole scene because that's not my style. Now with the Puffy stuff making headlines, people are finally paying attention.
You're one of the first persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way, according to them. You know, and look, if I didn't have an award-winning director doing it, if I hadn't put the right people in place to produce it properly, I would understand why they would question or doubt anything that I'm doing. But you go into the 90s, and Keefy D said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah,
I know
he did it.
You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
So it's not like he hate Diddy, but sometimes I do shit that we don't know about.
Well, for him to make the documentary, I think he hates Diddy.
Nah.
Nah?
That's business.
That's just business?
Business. You wouldn't be mad. Look,
you gotta really dislike someone to do a documentary about him.
If Jimmy Iovine did the documentary, would people say he's mad at Diddy?
Diddy built more than legendary parties. He built an empire. Bad Boy Records, Revolt TV, Ciroc Vodka, De Leon Tequila, fashion lines, and film deals all thrive through his network of celebrity connections. But now, those ties could come under legal scrutiny. A nod from Jay-Z or Beyoncé once meant instant credibility. Now those names could surface in court filings. 50 Cent's documents may include bank statements, contracts, and email chains. Court may trace how the money moved and examine who got paid and who looked the other way.
Bad Boy Entertainment. I named it Bad Boy because I wanted to go against the grain. Anytime you go against the grain, they consider you like kind of bad. Nothing negative, nothing like hardcore. Just, I didn't want to be regular. I didn't want to just make records. I didn't want to just make money. I wanted to make history. And that's all it's ever been about for me, making history. And making music that's timeless. Music that's going to be around when I'm not here, when my kids ain't here. Music that is that good. And having artists and videos and things that, really affect way of life in a positive way. Affect style, fashion, music.
Diddy once ruled Hollywood nights. His white parties were legendary. Champagne flowed and designer outfits dazzled. Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Ashton Kutcher were just a few of the famous faces in attendance. Invitations were like golden tickets. But that world may now come with a price. Everyone on those guest lists could be named in legal documents. 50 Cent intends to map out those connections, showing how deeply celebrities were embedded in Diddy's empire. The scale of these ties may shock fans, and some stars might shudder when their names surface in court.
Before Michael Rubin's all-white party, the real all-white party was Diddy.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Diddy started in the late 90s and continued on for a very long time. Now I'm going to show you an announcement of him at the party, and he says at a certain hour the kids have to go home. But before I do that, take a look at all of these celebrities who attended these parties. Well, I'm not saying the people who attended these parties are guilty of anything. I just want you to know how highly these parties were regarded. We are talking the highest names in every industry. What happens at these parties, I have no idea. You may have seen the clip of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where they talk about it a little bit, which is absolutely wild, but generally no phones were allowed, so good luck finding clips of the parties. But watch this clip.
The legendary white party, it's the real white party. And to all the kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids.
So all the leaked footage of Diddy parties right now is going viral, and here's one clip. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, right? Nothing crazy is happening. But why would they have anything crazy happening with cameras everywhere, right? Like, they're smarter than that, but there you guys go. More footage is going viral. Shabam.
Give a shout out. Thank you. That's a Chris. Can we get a shout?
Consider the music industry's biggest stars. Mary J. Blige and Usher both owe parts of their rise to Diddy's influence. He produced Blige's 1992 debut, an iconic moment in music. In March, Blige posted cryptically about burning bridges when needed. Was she referring to Diddy? Will she speak under oath, or will silence say more? Usher even lived with Combs in 1994. Both have remained mostly quiet since Diddy's September 16th arrest for racketeering and sex trafficking. He pleaded not guilty the following day. 50 Cent wants the court to review every photo, every handshake, and every whispered deal.
I met Puff. I was afraid of success, afraid to do anything that could put so much attention on me. And then when I met him, he was the complete opposite. And he was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had. And so his ambition pushed me to be ambitious because I didn't know how, because, you know, when you come from where I come from, you're scared to be ambitious. You're scared to want more. And so when I met Puff, I was, you know, blown away. But it took some years to grow into that and accepting someone that just was so excited about being seen and about having, you know, the lights on them and wanted it for you more than you wanted it for yourself. So, I mean, Puff was a huge inspiration to me.
I want you guys to know, man, it was a terrible thing when we found out that Mary J. Blige's tape came out. You know, I remember a time, man, when she was with KC from Jodeci, and they were, you know, on drugs, and KC used to put them hands on Mary J. Blige. So back in the day when her freak tape came out, Mary J. Blige even said herself, this was her rite of passage. Guys, I'm born and raised in Las Vegas, and I remember the day, man, she had a concert out here in Las Vegas, and she was so high, she was like, hey, how you doing tonight, Los Angeles? But we was in Las Vegas. But Mary J., as you remember, man, she wasn't the finest thing when she got on the scene. Mouth kind of twisted off to the side. She wasn't the best looking thing. You know, they found her singing karaoke, some Anita Baker karaoke in the mall, and they dusted her up, polished her up, and Angie Stone started writing for her, and she became who she was. But she definitely was a part of these parties, and she has no regrets.
Yeah. Yeah. The gate, y'all remember the second album, but Usher does have a first album that's a classic that you know I executive produced. But most importantly, that's how he became my brother. And to see the way you grow, you have grown, and to see you get better with your craft, and to see the man that you turned into and the consciousness that you have. I know you've been speaking to Harry Belafonte because you hooked me up with speaking to Harry Belafonte. So your consciousness, you know what I'm saying, has really been a shining example. And the way you just spoken and articulated yourself, imagine me having guardianship for you at 13, and then now you speaking the way that you speaking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I'm so proud of you.
But don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey, yeah.
Then there are major names like Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kanye West, Mariah Carey, and Drake, all of whom attended Diddy's 50th birthday bash in 2019. Jay-Z even appeared in a Vanity Fair portrait with Combs. Now, Jay-Z faces his own civil suit. He's accused of being involved with Diddy back in 2000 when he was allegedly 13 after the VMAs, a claim he vehemently denies, calling it blackmail. His lawyer has labeled the accusation fraudulent. Jay-Z reportedly responded, "No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you as the fraud you are in a very public way." But will that denial hold up if 50 Cent calls him to testify? Could Beyonce or Drake also be called to the stand? These moments could shape the outcome of the case.
Oh yeah! It's P. Sean Daddy Brother Puff Love Diddy Combs, or whatever the hell his name is now. We stopped trying to keep track. Celebrating his big 5-0 with some Elaine from Seinfeld moves at a gigantic party at his house. And everybody was there.
The biggest names that were there, Kim and Kanye, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Is that the order that you want to do that in?
Seriously, you forgot Dougie Fresh, who was also there. He should come first.
Biggest part of the whole night was the fact that Jay-Z and Kanye actually shook hands. They squashed their beef, or at least for that night. Diddy's smiling like, look, I made this happen.
Oh yeah, it was all you, Diddy. Maybe a little help from all the CBD products and Ciroc alcohol that was floating around, but otherwise, all you.
Who else was there?
Who wasn't? Well, maybe not Steve Harvey, because Diddy was banging his daughter. But how about Cardi B and Offset, Kevin Hart, Kobe Bryant, and Post Malone?
Yes, it's true. You remind me of my love that had to do. I'ma take them now to the red zone. To the red zone. They need to understand. If you want them to make it. Here we go. Let me 50th. Whoa! Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you happy to be alive in here tonight, make some noise. If you're happy to be alive, yo, let me clear my throat. Hey!
Yes, Montego! Yes, sir!
All right, Jack!
Let's go!
Legendary rapper Jay-Z is denying an allegation that he and Sean Diddy Combs raped a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, an anonymous accuser identified only as Jane Doe made the accusation in a civil lawsuit on Sunday. It alleges that the assault happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards afterparty back in 2000. In a statement to NBC News, Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, called the accusation idiotic, adding, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever should commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" Attorneys representing Combs also dismissed the lawsuit, calling it a shameless publicity stunt. Combs is currently behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after federal prosecutors charged him in September with racketeering and sex trafficking.
Socialites and supermodels also filled Diddy's world. Paris Hilton danced at several white parties. Cole Richie and a young Kim Kardashian once posed on a bed with her in St. Tropez. Naomi Campbell partied with Diddy after the Met Gala. Russell Brand claims Combs once pressured him into a holiday he didn't want. On The Howard Stern Show, Brand said, "Say you don't want to do something and Diddy does, that's a hard no to stick to." Will Paris admit she saw more than just champagne showers? Will Kim reveal whether she ever felt uneasy? Their testimony could shock even the most devoted fans.
You've been to some crazy parties, I'm sure. What's the strangest interaction you've had at a party that was like, what's happening right now?
I remember I was lit and I just started dancing with Paris Hilton. I was like, this is kind of crazy.
That is kind of nuts. What song was playing?
I don't even know. It was one of those nights.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I don't want to be nobody's bitch. I've worked too hard in life. Not even Diddy's bitch. Diddy's new to me, right? He looked after me. He took me on an enforced holiday to Vegas. He's a very intense man because I think he come from nothing and now he's very, very powerful. People that do stuff like that, they're intense.